Hello friends, hope you all are doing well. Myself Anurodh Ankit. Today we are going to start our new chapter, that is problem based on ages. This chapter has its own relevance according to examination point of view. The most beautiful thing about this chapter is that we don't require to learn any formula in this chapter. Only thing we require here is the concept part. Once we learn the concept part, we can solve any questions on ages within 35 to 40 seconds. So let's start the topic. The first concept what we require here, that how the sum of the ages between the two persons are affected some year back or some year later. Means when we move from one time frame to another time frame, how the sum between the ages are affected. And then another concept, how the difference between the ages of two persons are affected some year back or some year later. So first we will learn the first concept and then we will move towards the second concept. How the sum of the ages between the two persons are affected some year back or some year later. Here, let's say the present age, sum of the present age of A and B is given 50 years. Okay. So if we require, what will be the sum of the ages of A and B after 10 years? If the sum of the ages of A and B at present is 50 years. So how to calculate it? Now we will learn the concept here. Let's say the present age of A is X and present age of B is Y. So what will be the age of A after 10 years? After 10 years, A will be 10 years older. So it will be X plus 10. After 10 years, B will be 10 years older. It will be Y plus 10. So what will be the sum after 10 years? After say 10 years, A plus B will be, A after 10 years will be X plus 10. B after 10 years will be Y plus 10. So it will be X plus Y plus 20. The X plus Y we know, the sum of the present age of A and B, that is X plus Y, is given 50 years. So X plus Y here is 50 plus 20, that is 70 years. So what we did here, that we moved from one time frame, that is from present year to 10 years later, that is 10 plus. So if the sum here is given 50, what will be the sum of A and B after 10 years? So after 10 years, A will also increase by 10 and B will also increase by 10. The sum will increase by 20, that is 50 plus 20, that will be 70. Sum after 10 years will be 70. If we have to calculate what was the age of A and B 10 years ago, so we are moving from present scenario to 10 years ago. Now 10 years ago, A will be 10 years younger to what he is at present, and B will be also 10 years younger to what he is at present. So at present, the sum of their ages is 50. So 10 years back, their ages will be 50 minus 20, because you will subtract 10 years from both, 10 years from A and 10 years from B. So it will become 30. So what we learned from here, that when we move from one time frame to another time frame, the sum of the ages are affected. Now we will learn here the second concept, how the difference between the ages of two persons are affected some year back or some year later. Again, let's say the difference between the ages of A and B is 10 years. So what will be the difference between the ages of A and B 5 years later? Now first we will learn the concept here. Let's say the present age of A is X and the present age of B is Y. Now 5 years later A will be X plus 5 and 5 years later B will be Y plus 5. And here we know that X minus Y is 10 years. But we have to calculate what will be A minus B after 10 years. After 10 years. So after 10 years, A will be X plus 5 and B will be Y plus 5. we will subtract x plus 5, y plus 5 from x plus 5. So it will be x plus 5 minus y minus 5. This 5 and this 5 will get cancelled. So it will be x minus y, 5, x minus y, and x minus y is here 10 years. So we came to the conclusion that the difference between the ages are never affected. Whether you move from one time frame to another time frame, the difference will remain constant. So if at present means 0, 5 years later means 5 plus, and 5 years back means 5 minus. If this is A and this is B, and here is the difference between A and B. If the difference at present is 10 years, so 5 years later the difference between A and B will be 10 years only, and 5 years ago the difference was 10 years only. So difference between the ages are never affected. So what we have to remember in this ages chapter, that the difference between the ages are never affected, difference between the ages remains constant throughout. Now we will directly proceed towards the question. Before solving the question, we should keep one thing in our mind, that we can't move the ratio, we have to come to the ratio. What does it mean by we can't move to the ratio, we have to come to the ratio? We will learn through questions. Here the first question, the sum of the ages of a mother and her daughter is 50 years. Also 5 years ago the mother's age was 7 times the age of the daughter. What are the present ages of mother and daughter? Here mother and daughter, so let's say mother is M, daughter is D, and here the two time frames are given, 5 years ago and present. So here 0 signifies at present and 5 years ago means 5 minus. Okay. So what is given in the question? The sum of the ages of mother and her daughter is 50 years. So here is the sum. So sum at present is 50 years. And 5 years ago, mother's age was 7 times the age of the daughter. Means if the daughter is 1, mother is 7. So the ratio between the mother and daughter is 7:1. Now what I have explained earlier, that we can't move the ratio, we have to come to the ratio. So we have to bring our equation to this 7:1. We can't move this ratio, we have to come to the ratio. So what is given here? The age of mother and daughter at present is 50 years. Okay. So what will be the age of mother and daughter 5 years back? What was the ages? So 5 years back, so 50 minus 5 into 2, that is 10. So 5 years back the sum was 40 years. Now the ratio is given 7:1. Means if daughter is 1, mother will be 7. So sum is 8. But the actual sum is equivalent to 40. So it is 5 times. So all the ratio will be here 5 times. So it will be 1 into 5, that is 5. This will be 7 into 5, that is 35. Now the actual age 5 years back was 35 and 5 years, that of the mother and the daughter. Now the question is demanding what are the present age of the mother and daughter. So present age of mother will be 5 years back. If the age of mother was 35 years, so present age will be 35 plus 5, that is 40. And daughter 5 plus 5, that is 10. So option C is our correct answer. So accordingly you have to solve the question by making the figure. Once you learn the questions through figure and all, you will develop the concept, and once the concept is being developed, you can solve any questions easily. Now the second question. The sum of the ages of Shweta and her mother is 63 years. Also 4 years ago, the mother's age was 4 times of Shweta's age at that time. What is the present age of Shweta's mother? So here Shweta and her mother. So it's a mother and here is Shweta. Now what are the two time frames here? 4 years ago and present. So 4 minus and 0 at present. Now the sum of the ages of Shweta and her mother is 63 years. So sum is given here and the sum is 63 years at present. Also 4 years ago the mother was 4 times that of the Shweta age. So mother was 4 if the Shweta was 1. Now we have to come to the ratio. We can't move the ratio. The ratio is given 4 years back. So we have to move to the ratio 4 years back. So what is given in the question that the sum at present is 63 years. So what was the sum 4 years back? So 4 years back the sum will be 63 minus 4 into 2, that is 8. So 63 minus 8, that is 55. Now the real sum is 55. And from here we came to know that mother is 4 and Shweta is 1. So sum is 5. Now 5 is equivalent to 55. So it's 11 times. So all the ratio will become 11 times. So this will be into 11. This will be into 11. So mother's age will be 44 years, 4 years back. And Shweta age 11 years, 4 years back. So what is the present age of Shweta's mother? So what is the present age of Shweta's mother? So 4 years back, if the age of Shweta's mother was 44 years, so present age will be 44 plus 4, that is 48 years. So option D is the correct option. Now let's proceed to the next question. Difference. The difference of the present ages of A and B is 12 years. If 6 years back their ages were in the ratio 3:2, how old is A? So here the two time frames, that is the present and 6 years back. So here is your A, here is your B, and the time frames are 0 and 6 minus. Now 6 years back their ages were in the ratio 3:2. Okay, so 6 years back the ratio is given 3:2. Now the difference of the present ages of A and B is 12 years, and the difference between their present ages is given 12 years. Now again we have to move to the, we can't move the ratio, we have to come to the ratio. So we have to bring this difference to 6 years back. Now we know that the difference between the ages are never affected. Whatever the difference at present was the difference 6 years back and will be the difference 6 years later. So here the difference will be 12. Now the actual difference is 12. Now from this ratio method we know that if it is 2, B is 2, A is 3, difference is 1, 1 is equivalent to 12, that is 12 times. So B will be 12 times, A will be also 12 times. So 3 into 12, that is 36. 2 into 12, that is 24. Now how old is A? So A 6 years back was 36 years. So at present A will be 36 plus 6, that is 42 years. So 42 will be your correct option. Now the next question. Sachin was twice as old as Ajay 10 years back. How old is Ajay today if Sachin will be 40 years old 10 years hence? So here 3 time frame is given. 10 years back, at present, and 10 years after. Okay. So here 10 plus means 10 years later, at present 0, and 10 years back 10 minus. Sachin and Ajay. So S for Sachin, A for Ajay. Sachin was twice as old as Ajay 10 years back. So 10 years back here, Sachin was twice. So if Ajay was 1, Sachin was 2. So the ratio is 2 is to 1 10 years back. Now how old is Ajay today? So this is your question. How old is Ajay today? If Sachin will be 40 years old 10 years hence. Now the real age of Sachin after 10 years is given 40 years. So here 10 years later the age of Sachin will be 40 years. So at present the age of Sachin will be 30 years. So 10 years back, the age of Sachin was 20 years, and we know that the ratio between the Sachin and the Ajay is 2 is to 1. So here 2 is equivalent to 20, means into 10 times. So Ajay, this will also be into 10. So what was the age of Ajay 10 years back? We came to know that it's the 10 years. Now how old is Ajay? 10 years back the age of Ajay was 10. So at present the age of Ajay will be 10 plus 10, that is 20 years. If anyone will face problem over here, that how I calculated this 20. So age of Sachin 10 years later was 40 years. So at present his age will be 30. Now 10 years back his age was 20. Now Sachin and Ajay is in the ratio 2 is to 1, and this 2 is equivalent to 20. So what is A? So A will be 10. So here I calculated A as 10 years back. So what is the present age? Present age will be 10 plus 10, that is 20 years. So A option is the correct option. Jayesh is, now the next question, question number 5th. Jayesh is twice as old as Vijay and half as old as Suresh. If the sum of the Suresh and Vijay age is 85 years, what is Jayesh age in years? Okay, the options are 36 years, 34 years, 38 years, data inadequate, and none of these. Now to how to proceed this question. So first read the question. Jayesh is twice as old as Vijay. So if Vijay is 1, Jayesh is 2, 1 is to 2, and it's written there Jayesh is half as old as Suresh, means Suresh will be twice of Jayesh. Suresh. So if Jayesh is 2, Suresh will be 4. So the ratio between Suresh, Jayesh and Vijay is 4 is to 2 is to 1. Now if the sum of the Suresh and Vijay age is 85 years, now the sum here is given between of Suresh and Vijay, S plus V, is 85 years. And by the ratio we know that S plus V is 5. S is 4 and V is 1. So S plus V is 5. Now 5 is equivalent to 85. So it's 17 times. So all will be 17 times. This will be 17 times. This will be 17 times. And this will be 17 times. Now what is Jayesh age in years? So Jayesh will be 17 into 2, that is 34 years. So 34 is the correct option. Now in the examination, you don't require to write all those things. Once you wrote 4 is to 2 is to 1, you know that 4 plus 1, that is 5, and 5 is equivalent to 85 means 17 times. So directly you will say that 2 means 2 into 17, that is 34. So you can solve this question within 10 to 15 seconds in the examination hall if you have developed this concept here. Okay. Now this question number 6, this looks quite tedious, but actually this is a very beautiful question. If 6 years are subtracted from the present age of Randhir and the remainder is divided by 18, then the present age of his grandson Anup is obtained. If Anup is 2 years younger to Mahesh, whose age is 5 years, then what is the age of Randhir? The options are 96 years, 84 years, 48 years, 60 years, and none of these. Now, how to approach this question? So move according to the question. What is given here? If 6 years are subtracted from the present age of Randhir. Okay. So let's say Randhir for R. If we subtract 6 years from the present age of Randhir, R minus 6. So we will get something over here. So this remainder is divided by 18. So now this remainder gets divided by 18. And when we divide this remainder by 18, we get the present age of his grandson Anup. Now this is the present age of the grandson Anup. Okay. Now if Anup is 2 years younger to Mahesh, and Mahesh age is given 5 years, and Anup is 2 years younger to Mahesh. So we know that Anup will be 5 minus 2, that is 3 years. Now here is Anup, and Anup age we came to know that it's 3 years. Now we can find this remainder. This remainder will be 18 into 3, that is 54 years. Now we know that R minus 6 is 54 years. So R will be 54 plus 6, that is 60 years. What we have done here, we have proceeded according to the question and we reached the answer. Answer is 60 years. Okay, let's explain it again. What is given? That when 6 years are subtracted from the present age of Randir, okay, subtract 6 years from the present age of Randir, we will get something, let's say x. Now when you divide this x by 18, the age of Anup is obtained, the present age of Anup is obtained. Okay, now first thing we have to find the present age of Anup, then only we can proceed. Now Anup and Mahesh relationship is given here, that Anup is 2 years younger to Mahesh. So if Mahesh is 5 years, Anup will be 3 years. Now we came to know that Anup is 3 years. So we calculated this x, and this x is 54th. R minus 6 is 54th. R is 60 years. Okay. Now our next question, question number 7. The age of Romila is 1/4 than that of her father. After 6 years, the father's age will be twice the age of Kapil at that time. If Kapil celebrated 5th birthday 8 years ago, what is the Romila's present age? So here the two time frame is given. 8 years ago, after 6 years, and at present. Three time frame is here. Okay. 6 plus present 8 minus. Now the age of Romila is 1/4 than of her father. Romila is 1/4 of father. If Romila is R, father is F, so R is 1/4 of F. After 6 years, father's age will be twice the age of Kapil. So if this is father and this is Kapil, so after 6 years, the ratio is given 2:1. That father's age will be twice the age of Kapil. So if Kapil is 1, father will be 2 after 6 years. Now if Kapil celebrated 5th birthday 8 years ago, means 8 years ago the age of Kapil was 5 years. So what is the present age of Kapil? So 8 plus 5, that is 13 years. So what will be the age of Kapil after 6 years? It will be 13 plus 6, that is 19 years. So here 1 is equivalent to 19. So 2 will be equivalent to how much? 19 times. So it will be 38. Means here the ratio of father and Kapil is 2:1. And we know that Kapil is 19 years. So father will be 38 years. So age of father after 6 years is 38 years. So what is the present age of father? So 38 minus 6, that is 32 years. Now we calculated the present age of father. So what is the age of Romila? Romila is 1/4 of father. So 1/4 of 32 is 8 years. So option C is the correct option. Okay. Now we will move to the next question. In 10 years, A will be twice as old as B was 10 years ago. If A is now 9 years older than B, the present age of B is. So here 3 time frame is given. In 10 years means 10 years later, 10 years ago, and the present age. Okay, so here is your A, here is your B. It is 10 plus, this is present, and this is 10 minus. Now what is given here? In 10 years, A will be twice as old as B was 10 years ago. So what was the age of B 10 years ago? So let's say the age of B 10 years ago was X. Now here it is given that A will be twice of this age. When? After 10 years. So after 10 years, A will be 2x, twice of this age. And if A is now 9 years older than B, means here the difference is given, and the difference at present is given 9 years, and we know that difference between the ages are never affected. So what is the difference at present will be the difference 10 years after, and will be the difference was the difference 10 years back. So difference will remain 9 years. Now we know that 10 years back the age of B was X. So what is the age of B at present? X plus 10. Now what will be the age of B after 10 years? It will be X plus 20. Now we know the difference between A and B is 9. So 2x minus x plus 20 is equivalent to 9. So here x is equivalent to 29. Now we found what is x, but x is the age of 10 years back. So what is the present age of x? So present age of B is x. Sorry, what is x? So x is age of B 10 years back. So what is the present age of B? Present age of B will be x plus 10. And what is x? X is equal to 29. So 29 plus 10, that is 39. So option B is the correct option. How we have proceeded this question? According to the question, it's written here that age of B 10 years back, let's say x. So age of A will be twice of this age, 10 years after. So if this is x, A will be 2x. And we know the difference between the ages are never affected. So whatever is the difference at present will be the difference 10 years after. So 10 years after the difference is same, 9 years. Now 10 years back we know the age of B x. So at present age of B will be x plus 10. 10 years later it will be x plus 20. From here we calculated x, and and we have to find the present age of B. So present age of B is x plus 10. So x is 29. So 29 plus 10, that is 39 is our answer. Now the next question. The age of the father 3 years ago was 7 times the age of his son. At present, the father's age is 5 times that of his son. What are the present age of father and son? How to calculate it? Here the two time frame is given, 3 years ago and at present. Here is your father, here is your son, here is 0 and here is 3 minus 3 years ago. Now here 2 ratio is given. So how we will proceed? The age of father 3 years ago was 7:1, and at present the father's age is 5 times of his son. We can't change the ratio, we have to come to the ratio. So out of this 2 ratio, we have to convert one ratio into the equation. Let's say 3 years back the age of son is x, so father will be 7x. So if this is x, what is the present age of son? This will be x plus 3. If father's age 3 years back is 7x, what is the present age of father? This is 7x plus 3. Now we know that 7x plus 3 upon x plus 3 is given in the ratio 5:1. Now solve for x. So it will be 5x. 7x plus 3 is equal to, 7x plus 3 is equal to 5x plus 15. So it will be 2x is equal to 12. So x is 6. Now this x is 6. So this will be 42. Now we have to calculate what are the percentage of the father and the son. So father 3 years back was 42. So at present father will be 42 plus 3, that is 45 years. Son 3 years back was 6. So at present son will be 6 plus 3, that is 9. So 45 years and 9 years. Option A is the correct option. You can suppose this present age of father and son, let's say the son is x and the father is 5x. So by this way also you can solve this question and you will get the same option. So here what you will do, 5x and x. So 3 years back age of son will be x minus 3, age of father will be 5x minus 3. So we know that 5x minus 3 upon x minus 3, the ratio 3 years back was 7:1. From here also you will get to know what is x. So here x will be 9. So what is x? In this case, where you have supposed the present age of son is x and x is 9. So father is 5 times, so it will be 45. So again the option A is the correct option. Okay, one more question on this concept. And by this question, you will clear all the concept on age which comes with two ratio concept. 10 years ago, A was half of B in age. If the ratio of their present ages is 3:4, what will be the total of their present ages? Here the two time frame, that is 10 years ago and at present, and A and B. The time frame 10 years ago, 0 and 10 minus. 10 years ago, A was half of B in age. A was half. So if A is 1, B is 2, and at present A and B is 3:4. Okay. So again, either you suppose x over here or you suppose x over here, either 10 years back or 10 years later. Now what we have to calculate? What will be the total of their present ages? So let's say this is x, B. So if this is 4x, this will be 3x. So 10 years back, B will be 4x minus 10. 10 years back, A will be 3x minus 10. Now 4x minus 10 upon 3x minus 10 is equal to 2 upon 1. So 4x minus 10 equals 6x minus 20. So here 2x is equivalent to 10. So x is equivalent to 5. Now x is equivalent to 5. So B is 4x. So B is 20 years. A is 3x. So A is 15 years. So what is the sum of A plus B? That is 20 plus 15. That is 35 years. So option A is the correct option. So friends, we have developed a lot of concept on this AJ chapter. The concept part is over. Now in our next lecture, we will cover some exercise question on this AJ chapter. Thank you all. Have a wonderful time.